Ooh, hello there, my fellow miners and crafters. GoodTimesWithScar here, bringing you another super awesome Minecraft episode. And in today's episode, we tour the now complete version 1 of the Scarland Survival Base with tents and caves and mines and all sorts of other great stuff. So let's get this episode underway. Alright, and welcome back to Scarland, a land where we take survival building to the extreme, and we're here in the Scarland Survival Base version 1. Now, I would like to continue to build and evolve the base into version 2, 3, 4, and 5. But we're currently in version 1, so I want to do a tour to kind of show what we've completed now and get your feedback on what you would like to see in the future. What kind of tutorials and different things like that you'd like to see built within the base. So let's get started and let's take a look at our very first things. Now, this pathway was actually just completed on Twitch. But as you can see, it really kind of brings this whole area together. And really the first things that were built was the rock slide, the little landslide that comes flowing down here and leads up to our tents. So let's head up here, and now this was all made to make sure it was horse accessible. So we'll come over here, and as you can see, there's Tippy himself. And he's got a new friend. He's got a new friend there, and that is Orange Sheep. Hello, Tippy. Do you want to say hi to the Scars? No? You don't? Okay, Tippy's a little bit grumpy today. Anyway, so let's turn the corner here, and this is, of course, our iconic green tent. The green tent that represents the roller coaster project. Now, this was built to accommodate, all of our chests and all of our stuff in here. Let's close the creeper gate. And as you can see, it accommodates all of our chests for all of our different projects within the roller coaster project, and it is incredibly disorganized, and there's things growing in here and living in there, and it's very creepy. But anyway, as you can see, we've got our furnaces all set up, we've got our anvil and our crafting benches. Now we can come over to a living quarters here, and we've got of course, our ender chests and some armor and all of our different tools and things, and there's our bed. And then these are kind of project chests for different projects that I'm currently working on. I like to keep the resources in separate chests like so. And then, of course, what house, tent, or mansion wouldn't be complete without our very own milkshake maker? So we got our milkshake maker and a quick way down into the caves. And then, of course, our little beds set up all ready to go. And yeah, I love seeing some of the fan art that's been made of the kind of the green tent, because it represents the kind of our current stage in Scarland as we work on, of course, the major roller coaster project that we're looking at now. So the whole base was built around, of course, the roller coaster project, so that we could, have a place to live, have a place to harvest different materials that we need. And I think it's kind of grown into more than that now. So that's why I want to continue to build and change it as we kind of play around with Minecraft as always. All right, so here is our fortune teller tent. And as we kind of come in here, we can do our fortune telling and, well, enchanting. And we can, take a look at some of the resources that we keep in the boxes under there. And I think it came out pretty nice. There was a couple little modifications we had to make after the video, like the pressure plates were actually blocking these. So we can only do one pressure plate. Originally, we had pressure plates on either side. So we just do one, and then we added an extra bookcases on either ends here. And there we go. So we got that all set up and ready to go. And it looks kind of cool, kind of mysterious up on its little hill up there, like any good fortune teller really would be. So let's head down the pathway, and all these pathways and things like that were all done on Twitch. So if you guys are looking for how we did some of the landscape, you can definitely find that on my Twitch channel. So let's head into the tree farm. So the tree farm here was built actually quite some time ago, around Christmas. So we've got lots and lots of wood built up into here. We've got all sorts of different things. We got leaves and good stuff like that. And that all came from this tree farm right here. So all the woods in the current, inventory are for the roller coaster. So we got our spruce, got our acacia, and our dark oak all loaded up and ready to go. So I grew them all in for the video today. So I took some bone meal and got them all grown in. But it's been pretty awesome. I'm really glad we did actually make that. That's been really useful. And of course, there he is, Scarloff himself. So of course, we needed a place to get snow. And why, stick a snowman in a corner and just call it good? No, we need to do it right. We put Scarloff in a little tent like so. We gave him all sorts of little ice and flowing water and stuff like that that's been frozen. And I think that came out pretty cool. So let's go take a little look at Scarloff. We'll cross over here a natural arch bridge that we did on Twitch, along with our giant redwood tree that we crossed through. Look at that. It's just the little details like that that always make things special. There we go. And we'll swing around the corner. There we go. And up the hill, and there he is, Scarloff himself. Hello, Scarloff. How are you today? Good? You don't even want to talk to us either. Oh, hello. He didn't see us. All right, so let's head down in here. And as you can see, we've got our snowballs and all sorts of good stuff down here. And it's all kind of icy and cold and super cool. So yeah, I think that was a fun build. That was definitely a fun build. It really kind of has a fun feel to it. Like it's really, cold and chilled in there. And yeah, so that is the tents. And as we go along, let me know. Let me know what your favorite build was. Was it one of the tents? Was it one of the cave rooms that we're about to tour? Or, some of the landscaping? It could be anything. My personal favorite is the mines. The mines are just incredible, and that's what we're going to take a look at right now. So let's head on down here. And you might be noticing some ice and a little bit of snow here and there. Now, the reason for that is that I want this climate that we're in for this biome to be kind of a cold but thawed out. So that's why some of the ice and the snow are in the shadow areas. So they're a little bit under some of the trees and in some of the corners of the rock, like here and there. Because I wanted to give it a kind of feel like, it's a cold climate, but it's currently in a state of thaw. So we're in the mines, so you can follow the little track that leads into the cave here and through the little arch. And as you can see, the little mine cars are all zipping about, giving this area a really dynamic, great energy feel to it. And if you can add some form of motion into your builds, it really does make Minecraft feel a little less static. And I think it looks definitely pretty cool. And as you can see, these tracks are non-functional. They are just for theme, but there are other areas where there are some functional things inside the mine. Of course, here is a little workstation where we have some of our tools and some food and, some diamond for some tools and different things like that all set up and ready to go. Now, this is where we store our things. So let's take a look over here. So this is our mass storage. We store our cobble, our dirt, and our gravel in these chests down here. And then it takes it all the way down here. There we go. And we got all of our cobble, stored down here. We might have to expand that. It's could use a couple more chests. You might be wondering to yourself, Scar, what is this thing? Now, this is just for theme. Just for theme, not functional in any way, but it just gives the area just a little extra theme. It's a diamond cutter station. You kind of come over here and just gives the theme like you're cutting the diamond out, make it into the shape that we all know from that to that. So I just thought that was kind of a fun thing to do. But the real gem of this room is this box right here. So what we do is once we've gone in the mine and we've got all the resources that we want, like the diamonds, the iron, all that good stuff, we head over here. So I'm just going to dump all my best tools in there for now. Okay. And then we hit that button and then a car will come right up to here, as you can see, and then away it goes. So at the end of the video, we will take a look at where that ended up, and it's definitely really cool. So we'll take a look at that a little bit later. All right, so now we'll jump onto here, and I just realized I don't have a sword to defend myself anymore, so hopefully we don't encounter any creeper creeps. All right, so let's head down the mine shaft here, and as you can see, we're down deep into the Scarland new mines, and we're on our little system here. So let's actually stop here at this little junction. There we go. And yeah, so this is a cool little junction stop here where we have a little workstation, a little TNT area. And of course, in this zone right here are all the different mine shafts with this beautiful dwarven feel to something like right out of Skyrim. I think this design came out pretty cool, as you can see. We haven't done a ton of mining in this area yet. So hopefully we can start doing that pretty soon. And yeah, so when you're done here, you just hit the switch and away you go. But unfortunately, it's still not complete 100%. We still need to work on it a little bit more and add a loop around and stuff like that. But so we just have to jump back on like that. But soon it'll be a little bit more functional and a little bit easier to kind of navigate the different caves. And up we go. So that is the Scarland mine. So the next stop we need to make is deep, deep within the caves. And that is our farm. So farms are really ugly, right? Like a cow farm, a sheep farm, different things like that can be incredibly ugly. So that's why I wanted to put those underground. So we put those underground to kind of keep those out of sight. And I think that was a good idea. Usually, you just have like a giant swatch of land and that is for, cows and sheep and stuff like that. But I think this looks pretty cool having it actually underground. So over here, this is where we store all of our different mob traps. So we've got our gunpowder, our bone meal, and all that good stuff all the way across there. So all the mobs that we've killed in the project have all been stored down here. So as you can see, we can kind of round the corner and, here's all the bone meal. And we can sneak on down here. Like, look at how much of this, look at how much armor we have. Like, look at, isn't that crazy? That is a lot of armor. But yeah, so that's kind of a nice little spot to store it all and kind of just see truly how much mobs that we've killed. All right, so down here, is our sheep and our cow farm. So let's start over here in our sheep farm. So as you can see, we've got all of our sheep, and this area is actually pretty nice looking if you look down on the ground and stuff. But unfortunately, there's so many sheep in here, you can't see like the cool little waterfall or any of those good things. In this area, this is where we store all of our wolves. If I was good at redstone, I'd have this more automated, but fortunately, I'm not that great at it. Then we've got our little shear rack along there. And yeah, so there's the sheep farm. And like I talked about, this is really nice having it underground and out of sight. And of course, here is our cow farm. So you can kind of see this area's got, a nice little water feature here and some trees and plants and different things like that. And then we can kind of sneak into here. And of course, this is where we put our, our beef and good stuff. And then it's automatically cooked and then sorted down into some chests beyond. And I would like to set up maybe like a furnace or not a furnace, but a freezer. I think that would look really cool back there. We haven't done that yet. We'll probably do that also on Twitch. All right, so rounding the corner down here, and this is where we're going to expand the farms and expand the different survival elements of our base down into these other little corridors down that way. So, like I said, give me some of your feedback. I would love to know your opinion on what you would like to see as additional videos. All right, so our final thing here is our mass storage and crafting area. So we've got tons and tons of resources all brimming in here, as you can see. And we haven't filled in a lot of these chests. These chests are pretty empty, so I'll start moving in more woods and stuff into these ones. And then, of course, these are where we keep more of our rarer materials in these chests, and of course, our project chests. So we keep, each chest is full of different materials for variations of different projects and stuff like that. And then, of course, down here, this is where we smelt. So we've got our, we put our ores and stuff in there, and then outputs down like there. Now, you might be wondering, Scar, where did your tools go? Well, they're right here. So we can come over here, we can grab our tools, and then we can, if those were diamonds and things, we could come over here and then store them in our different rare gems chests and stuff like that. And there we go, my friends. That is the Scarland Survival Base version 1. And hopefully you enjoyed, and I've thought of some cool and exciting new ideas for the base. So let me know, because I would love to know. And also, what was your favorite tent or favorite cave or something like that? I'd love to know, so it helps me make better videos, so I know which ones you guys like best to kind of keep going. And I really, really enjoyed making the video today for you guys. And hopefully you've enjoyed all the different survival build elements. And if you missed any of these, you could definitely check them out on the playlist on my YouTube channel and watch any of the videos that we took a look at today. So until next time, this has been Good Times with Scar, and I always really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch my videos. And if you believe the video deserved a rating, that would be much appreciated. And until next time, we'll see you later. And don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Twitter.